Dr. Wood, author of the book Miracles in Minutes, and today's video is going to cover a little bit more of understanding yourself and helping you get from where you are to where you want to be. So inside every one of us is a dream. You have I want to have love. I want to be loved. I have this vision of being this person. I feel something inside myself, this calling to be someone, and I have all these dreams as a kid, and then, my life's just not working out. I don't know why. Well, I'm going to cover some concepts here. So we have three brains. I'm going to cover it real quick. So there's a very primitive brain called the brain stem. They call it the croc brain. The Chinese call it the monkey mind. It's the one that's over. It's like when you're losing your shit. You're in the croc brain and you're just swirling, like you have no control of your emotions. You have no control of yourself. A situation comes up. The croc brain uses something called the gestalt. This looks like something I've seen before. It was a snake. I saw the snake. It almost bit me. I could have died. Holy shit, it writes to the hippocampus. And now anything that looks like snake, including a stick, your reaction is automatic, subconscious, the same. Whether it's a stick or a snake, croc brain goes, I don't give a shit. We're getting out of here. I'm done. I'm losing my shit. You're out of here. Fight, flight, or freeze. Only three responses, okay? So in life, you start moving forward towards your dreams. You're like, maybe you see the love of your life over here. Oh my God, it's someone I wanted. And then you go back to maybe something like a vow. You made a vow to yourself. So in the past, you got hurt. You're in a relationship and someone hurt you. And you said to yourself, I will never, ever get hurt again. I'll never put myself out there and be exposed to that. Never. Then there's this deep core need, like, I like to be in a relationship. I want to love somebody. So you find someone you care about, and you start moving closer, and all of a sudden, whoop, the vow comes up. Do you remember when you said you're not going to do you remember how you got hurt before? And you go, this all happened subconsciously. You're like, oh, yeah, I do. And what you'll do is you'll either run away from the relationship, stab the love of your life, sabotage it, because it's too fearful. Like, the last time I went for love, it's not really against you. It's like, last time they had a love feeling, and right now they're having love feelings associated with you, you're going to hurt me. I got hurt before. Up comes the fear response, which is fight you, run away from you, or they'll freeze. They won't even talk to you. Those three responses. So this wall of fear, this wall of protection, start going from where you are to where you want to be. You get out there into the uncomfort zone, and you run back to safety. Go inside your head, remember your vows, and then what you do is you create an artificial character. An artificial character is called an ego. You call it pride. I'm better than them. I'm blah, 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 blah. You start pumping yourself up, blowing yourself up with air to try to escape. You're going to escape and make myself feel better. Whatever it is. It could be drinking, could be in a new relationship. It could be, I'm just going to go to school and, we're not going to think about that right now. Procrastination. So what you haven't dealt with the reality is in life, there's hurt and there's pain and suffering. Well, I don't want any. Welcome to Earth. This is the way it is. Now, there's goodness in that. So if you can learn how to deal with hurt and accept hurt, you'll be fine. And also, there's some other positive emotion states, maybe I'll teach you later, like contentment and equanimity, that you can learn how to self-soothe. So if you get hurt, you can learn how to heal, soothe yourself. It's like a kid falls down, they look for mama to kiss the boo-boo. So the looking outside self to self-soothe could be alcohol, could be gambling, could be shopping, that's all compensating for a hurt. You haven't really dealt with a hurt, but it just makes you feel better. So then another reason why we don't go from where we are to where we want to be is perfectionism. Maybe you're raised where your parents want you to be this perfect kid and all this shit, and you ever made a mistake, they correct you really hard, slap you emotionally or whatever, or like, oh, you're stupid, and next thing you know, you're like, oh, well, I don't like being in trouble. So what I'll do is I'll be the perfect kid. There's no perfect person. And the way you stay perfect is you never do shit in your life. Because when you try new stuff, guess what you're going to do? You're going to screw up. But that messes up the whole perfect kid thing. Like, I can't be this perfect person if I try new things. Because when you try new things, you're going to make some mistakes. You can call it failure if you want. Or you call it learning. Or you call it growing. Or you call it, wow, I learned something new. And I pat myself on the back, I tried something good today. But if you have a perfectionist mindset, you're going to protect your identity of always looking good, looking perfect. I'm this perfect person who has no flaws, whatever. But you can't ever live. You can only stay where you are. So what you do is you'll sit there and spin in circles, and you put one thumb in one orifice and another, and just keep switching. You're not doing anything. It's mental busyness. You're running around your mind. You're exhausted from this too, by the way. So we got to give up. You got to give up perfectionism, because you can't cross the great divide from where you are to where you want to be without giving up perfectionism. You can't cross the great divide if you can't get past the hurt. If you don't know how to deal with hurt. And you can't cross the great divide if you can't get past the vows, internal vows that you have yourself. I'll never let anybody hurt me like that. I'll never do that again. Well, if you'll never do that again, then you can't move forward. You have to stay where you are. And staying where you are is worse suffering. The more you refuse to suffer, the greater the suffering is where you are. But then you tell yourself a lie, create a fake story to feel good about not moving forward. And I don't want to be too morose, but it's kind of like you're telling yourself you're with a woman, but you're with yourself. Call that whatever you want. But it's kind of like you're doing that in your head. You're kind of playing games with yourself. You're not really in action, because what's needed to move from where you are to where you want to be is you need actionable steps, and that means trying new things, going past your current reality to things you've never done before, and these are the big things that stay in the way. I'll never do that again. I got in trouble last time I tried new stuff. I can't look good, look at like this perfect I can't go into this. I felt awkward. I don't like feeling awkward. It's uncomfortable. It was uncomfortable. You weren't uncomfortable when you first time tried to use a spoon as a kid. All of a sudden, and you learned a lot. You grew a lot. You learned a lot, but now you're stuck and you can't move forward in life. So you can't get to the promised land. You can't get to where you want to be unless you're willing to give up some of these things. Well, what does it cost you? What does it cost you? What do your fears cost you? What does perfectionism cost you? What do these deep vows cost you that I'll never get hurt again? What does hurt cost you? Not willing to accept hurt or be hurt or deal with the hurt. What does it cost you? It costs you your life. You'll never get there. And I say this not to be mean. I say this because I want to see you get all the promises. I want to see you get into heaven. I want to see you get everything you ever wanted. But until we get past this stuff, you're just not going to get there. So to even get there, you have to have something called acceptance. You have to accept, hey, my life's not the way I wanted it. It's not happening the way I desired. This is true. To deny it, denial, lie to yourself. That's who you lie to the most. It costs you to live in greater fear. And what happens is the walls of your life start closing in. It gets deeper and darker and heavier and deeper and darker and heavier, deeper, darker, heavier. And the way you try to feel better is you create an ego, or you escape. You escape through the ego, this artificial character. That's not me. Here, hit this guy. The ego. I'm fine over here. But our egos take wounds, and then the ego wound comes right into our heart, and then we're crushed. The ego needs to stay right up here, where it needs to be, in the head, where it goes one ear and out the other. I don't care about your opinion. I don't care if I don't look good to you. One ear, out the other. But if the noise from the outside comes in and goes here, it's like a wound to the heart, wound to the soul. So you have to learn how to, when you take stuff in from the outside world, where do you want it to go? It should go in your head. You can think about it, but it doesn't go into your heart. You think about it, not from a world of condemnation, which is a judgment. I'm a bad person, but the world of conviction, which is, let me consider that. Maybe I'm being an asshole. Let me take that into consideration. It's up in my head. It can go in one ear and out the other, but it doesn't go in my heart. Condemnation is shit. I am a bad person. Judge self, your heart, your soul, and then it's kind of like you stab yourself the rest of the time. And then you try to act like you're fine. It doesn't work out. So until you get big, open your heart, live from courage, you just can't cross the divide. And these goals over here need to be so big, I'll do whatever it takes, including give up my life. So that you have to get to, these look so good, that what's in this hand is better in this hand. That's the way the brain weighs things. This is better on this side than this side. But if the fear of getting hurt is bigger than the rewards over here, you'll stay right where you are. You'll move forward and hit the wall, move back. Move forward and hit the wall, move back. Maybe you won't even move anymore. You'll just stay frozen in time and then say, this is the way life is. This is acceptance from the worst degree. Accepting bullshit. So it's Dr. Wood. It's how to get from where you are to where you want to be. Fear, perfectionism, vows, and hurt. You have to learn how to deal with that. Have a great day.